Hi guys, it's Belle here and I'm back for Margarete Monday with week 24 of the Margarete Miller collage challenge. If you don't know what the collage challenge is, it is a 52-week challenge created by Margarete Miller where every week you get a prompt, a themed prompt, or a set of 6 prompts, 5 of which you use, and the 6th one you can replace one of the other prompts with if you haven't got something or you prefer it. Or you could do as me, and I know many other crafters do, is try and do all 6 prompts. You can get the prompts in different ways. If you go to Margarete Miller's Etsy, which I will leave down below, you can buy the actual journal, or you can buy the digital prompts as I have done because it's easiest for me, and I ended up making my own journal. So I will leave all the links to all that down below. Margarete Miller's YouTube, her Etsy, and the link to the first video where I show you a flip through of this journal before I start working in it. There is also a playlist of all of the weeks that I've done so far, if you are interested in checking those out. So this week is another one of the themed ones, and I'm kind of enjoying the themed ones. They're a bit different and they challenge you in a different way to having the prompts for the items. So for week 24, do you have a favourite song, artist, or style of music? Create a collage with this as your theme. It's really interesting because last week's collage also had song titles, and then for what week was it? Hold on, it's for this one, which is week 20. Oh, it's there. I actually did a music-based one based on Skin from Skunk Anansie and like wrote lyrics on it and everything. And obviously I didn't know this other one was coming up. So we've got a very small, it's actually a flippy flat page, but I want to use it because we're almost at the middle and I want to make sure that I have enough pages for the rest of the year. So we've got this little flippy flat page, so it's only a small page. So what I've decided to do is I've always loved rock music, whether it be 70s rock that I kind of grew up with as a child, listening, you know, in the home. It was something my parents listened to a lot, to the sort of 80s rock. Obviously, you've got a different style of rock in the night. I just love rock music. Not so much the screamy, heavier stuff, but I do love some heavy metal and stuff like that. Anyway, so one of the things I wanted to do was kind of base it on the kind of music that I like, but one particular band. Now, these aren't my favourite band, but they are one of my favourite bands, and that is the Rasmus. If you haven't heard of them, they're from Finland. They're a kind of rock pop band, I suppose some of their music can be classed as, especially their earlier stuff. Now, when the Rasmus first came out, they came out in the UK with In the Shadows, and these are the lyrics to In the Shadows. So I wanted to use those. So we're going to get started, and I'll kind of tell you a little bit about them. Oh, I'm getting my glue book, guys, and it's stuck to my new glue book. So anyway, so I've got a picture of the Rasmus, one of my favourite pictures of them. Here we go. I printed out some of the lyrics to In the Shadows. I have some of this Tim Holtz wallpaper, not only because it kind of goes with the whole theme, but if you watch the In the Shadows video, some of it takes part in this like abandoned looking house, and this wallpaper reminded me of it. I couldn't find any Finlandian music in my music sheets, but I did find a Norwegian one, and that's kind of Scandinavian and everything. I have some die cuts, these yellow feathers, you'll find out why, and a few other bits, and I also have some of the Tim Holtz fabric tape, because again, some of this tape kind of matches up to the wallpaper and reminds me of the In the Shadows video. So I'm thinking I kind of want this in the background and then some of the wallpaper kind of over the top. I don't care if I cover some of this over, and I'm going to have some of the music kind of around. So I'm sort of seeing how much of the wallpaper I need. So I'm going to just start ripping it. And inking things. So when In the Shadows first came out, I remember I was watching, it must have been like MTV or something. And I'd been kind of bored with the latest music that had been out. I hadn't really heard anything that was different in a while. And I was just a bit like, not that kind of inspired. So I had kind of my favourite bands, but I was looking for something that might be a bit more interesting or a bit different or just catch my attention. And I remember the first time I heard and saw the In the Shadows video, and I was hooked from that day. I was in love with the Rasmus and Lowry. Had a bit of a crush on Lowry. He's the lead singer. This little cutie here. And just the sound and everything. And I fell down a huge rabbit hole. So not only did I then have to research everything the Rasmus had ever done, and they'd been around since they were at college. You know, they'd been making music since college, and some of their early stuff is, you can tell it's early and it's teenagers and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I researched them. I ended up buying and getting hold of every album they'd ever done, including their stuff that in reality I'm probably not going to listen to or didn't listen to that much. I like that, but I don't want to waste too much of this, so I'm going to tear it a bit more because, you know, it's Tim Holtz wallpaper and I don't want to waste it. Yeah, I started researching them and everything, and then that led me down the rabbit hole of Scandinavian rock and bands like Apocalyptica and Him and all sorts of fun bands. There's a real interesting vibe to Scandinavian rock, and I don't know if it's because of the culture and the fact that it can be quite dark there during the winter, and obviously it's very cold and all the snow. I don't know what it is, but anyway, they've just got such an amazing vibe, and bands like Apocalyptica and that have full orchestras and stuff playing in the background. It's interesting. If you like anything like that, definitely go check it out if you haven't heard of it already. And then that led me on to wanting to go to Finland. So I did. I'm going to use a tackier glue for this wallpaper because it's sort of textured on the back. So I flew out to Finland with a friend because the Finnish rock clubs are quite well known for being some of the best in Europe. So we flew out in the winter, in December, for me and her. For her, it was more, let's go to Helsinki, even though she hates anything cold. So that's what you call a good friend, is someone who hates the cold and still decides to come with you on your trip to Finland. And we went to Helsinki in December. Freezing cold. The sea gets frozen. They have to get like a special boat out in the mornings to cut through the ice so that the other ships can get out. And there's a tiny island off into the sea off the Helsinki harbour. And I'm not even going to try and pronounce it now because it's years since. And it said that if the ice is thick enough, you can actually walk from the harbour to... I'm going to leave that raggedy bit hanging over. And it actually says Norwegian dance there. I'm looking for the other bit that says Norwegian. There, I might have that. It said that you can actually walk. We didn't. We got the boat over to the little island. Anyway, I went there. We went to lots of the rock clubs, had a lovely time. What's really lovely in Finland is that you can't actually go to clubs unless you're 25 or over. And it's the safest I've ever felt walking around Helsinki as a woman. You know, I live near London. I go there quite a lot, or did, you know, the issue we've all been living with the last few years. And yeah, it was just really nice. The atmosphere in the clubs was nice because they're all grown and adults. And actually, while we were there, one of the clubs we went to, they had an AC/DC, which is one of my other all-time favourite bands, tribute band. So that was quite fun to sit and listen to them. And yeah, it was just a really great experience. It was so cold, though, that when we left, the plane struggled to take off to begin with because the ice had frozen on the wings, and they were having to hose it down and things. Good job I'm not scared of flying. But it was an amazing experience. Anyway, so that then triggered a love of Finland. And I started learning Finnish. I actually started learning it before we went. It's quite an interesting and difficult language. I learnt very basic Finnish. And I can't remember a word in it now. But I learnt very basic Finnish to go. And unfortunately, the Rasmus weren't there when we went. They were actually touring. However, I have seen them live at least 4, I think 5 times in the UK. I remember one year, I think I saw them 3 times that year alone, because they were over and I wanted to see them live. So yeah, I have seen them live and everything. But yeah, it just sent me down this whole rabbit hole, and Finland is now one of my favourite, Helsinki is one of my favourite cities that I've ever visited, and I've visited a lot. And Finland is one of those places that I have just fallen in love with. The only problem was at the time, it wasn't really what you'd call ice cream van. It wasn't really, you're going to get a lot of ice cream van on my videos because of I film a lot of them on a Saturday, and the ice cream van is often about those times. So anyway, yeah, it wasn't really what I'd call vegetarian friendly back then, because basically the only thing I could eat, I'm thinking I might want that like on there, even though it's Finland, so maybe I won't. I don't know, maybe I'll just put some music up there. Yeah, it wasn't really, I was stuck eating a lot of beetroot meals, to say. My friend had a great time, like, you know, fresh fish, and they do eat reindeer. But, you know, when you're in a country, you eat what is cultural to that country. So she had a great time with all that stuff, whereas I lived off beetroot. But I can't complain. The meals were lovely. The clubs were amazing. Ironically, that's where I went to my first ice bar. I don't actually drink, but, you know, we had to obviously go. And there's a church there made completely out of, like, rock. I think it's called the Rock Church. I don't know. Not as in rock music, as in rock rocks. Yeah, it's a beautiful, like, it was absolutely beautiful, and very unusual. Anyway, it was a gorgeous experience. But that was all of that, the travelling there, the learning to speak it, the finding out about Scandinavian rock. All of that was triggered by this one video that I saw in the shadows. Okay, so I've got some yellow feathers here. So the reason is, let's get some of these die cuts out. The reason for this is, Larry is well known, that's the lead singer again, he is well known for wearing like crow and raven feathers in his hair. It was kind of his iconic thing. It must have been uncomfortable. Anyway, I don't tend to work with feathers, and because they're not always sourced very ethically. So if I've got a few, I will work with them. And I do think I have like one synthetic one left, or two of them left. But what I wanted to do instead was use my die cut to cut out some feathers. And you might be going, why the yellow, Belle? You say it's a rock band. This is very grungy. There's lots of black. I'm wondering, actually, I might want some of that there now. I think I do. Well, this year I was absolutely gobsmacked to hear that the Rasmus were going to be Finland's entry to the European Song Contest. Eurovision. What am I saying? Anyway, they were going to be the Finland's entry. I remember years ago when Lordi were on there. Again, they're another rock band, and they are nuts. Like their costumes and things. A very good band though. Lots of fun. But we heard, because we're huge Eurovision fans, I mean, it's a big deal in our house. We have a Eurovision night, we have food buffets, we pick a country round. It's a whole thing here. It has been since, gosh, I was a teenager. Anyway, this year we found out that the Rasmus were going to be on there, which I was just like, what? The Rasmus? No way. And their song was Jezebel. And for some reason, don't know why, for some reason, Lowry and other members of the band were in yellow. Lowry in particular was in a yellow, like water mac coat with no top underneath. And just darkening this a little bit, but not too much. And he was holding a big yellow balloon, and I was just getting like, feel like I want this kind of curled a little bit. I was getting It vibes, you know, the movie It, where the clown's holding the balloon and stuff. I was getting real It vibes. It was very peculiar. I have no idea why they were doing that, but anyway, so these yellow feathers are representing the feathers Lowry is known for wearing, whilst also reminding me of Eurovision this year, and it gives a pop of colour to the page. But yeah, I was just so excited. I was fangirling. Like, oh my gosh. The Rasmus are on. And you can tell they are seasoned performers. Their performance was brilliant. How he has that much energy now he's a dad of a young child, I have no idea, but you know. And most of the band are still together. They've got one new member. They've actually got a lady now in it, which, you know, is nice. Obviously, it's always great to have the original band members, but, you know, can't say I'm upset about the fact that they have a new member. I'm wondering if I want that kind of on top. I think I'm going to ink around it. So I was so excited. I can't even tell you. I was just so excited. I mean, I'm excited anyway that Eurovision is on and everything. And for once, the UK did exceedingly well. I know there's been controversy about it. I don't need to hear about any of that. I just enjoy the experience of Eurovision and the kooky and the craziness of it and all that sort of stuff. All the fun stuff. But yeah, the Rasmus were on with Jezebel. I expected them to do better than they did, which was a shame. But I loved it. So I think I might do that. I don't know. I'm just playing with the feathers, trying to get a feel that I like. So, but yes, And I was trying to think when this prompt came up, you know, obviously I love rock music. Who would I pick? There's big iconic bands that have meant a lot to me in my life. And then there's other bands that aren't what you would call rock. Like, I'm a huge Fleetwood Mac fan. Always have been again. I remember my dad saying to me when I was a teenager and I was listening to all this 70s and 60s and music, and he was like, this is not even your era. Why you should be listening to what kids are listening, which at the time was, I was a teenager in the 90s, and I am not a fan of 90s music. And I was just like, I'm not listening to that stuff, Dad. I'm just gonna listen to these bands. I mean, I like some of the stuff that came out of the 90s, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't my thing. And a lot of it was poppy and everything, and I've always been drawn more to kind of either folk music or rock, mainly rock. So I just love how that's looking and the pop of colour. So I've also got these aeroplanes. I did it in 2 different colours because I don't know what colour I've want, and I was thinking because I flew to Finland, it might be quite nice to put the aeroplane on there. And I don't want it to be completely yellow, so I think I'm going to use the black. And I've also got the word life. So hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so I was thinking I've got this yellow life because, you know, it's my life. It's my life. I'm sure that's a 90s song. Anyway, and I'm thinking the black aeroplane might be quite good. Or even down there, flying towards it. I feel like I like it up there because I like what I'm also thinking is, do I want to use any of this tape? So I'm going to have a quick look. So yeah, when I was thinking about this particular prompt, I was thinking, right, we've got some of this here. I was thinking about the fact that, you know, I could pick a number of bands, but I know in one of my October dailies, I did I wonder if that could be a tab. I did a spread about Fleetwood Mac, in particular, The Green Man Leashy by Peter Green. So I did that, and I've obviously done Skunk Anansie on another page. And I just thought, okay, when I think of bands, there's a lot that I love, and, you know, I even love, like, the Jersey Boys, Frankie Valli. I've been to the stage so many times. And again, that's from when I was a teenager in the 90s, and that's one of those situations when my dad was like, realistically, do you know what? I was going to have this on here. But now I don't know if I want it or not. Like, I don't know if it needs it. Let's stick the other things on and come back to that. That's one of those things, you know, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons was not a 90s band. But I just loved them. I was thinking, so what band can I think of that's really important to me for multiple reasons, not just because I enjoy the band or the music. What band can I think of? And immediately I just thought, the Rasmus. I mean, realistically, how often do you get so obsessed with a band or so into a band that you fly over to the country they come from, learn to speak the language, and yeah, go to any gig they do. I'm sure, please tell me there's others of you out there who do this kind of thing for bands that you love, and introduce me to, like I said, a whole other style of rock, Scandinavian type rock. Oh, dropped my glue. Sorry guys, I had to pick that up. Yeah, introduced me to a whole other style of rock that I love. And I just had a great time over there. Finland is beautiful. Helsinki is beautiful. It's just a great place. I've also got some of this washi. Maybe that's what I wanted. Like down here, maybe. Here. Maybe this. So yeah, how often does that happen? And obviously they were on Eurovision. So that's what spoke to me for this collage. Anyway. Yeah, the Erasmus. I just love them. Yeah, that's what it needed there. A little pop there. And I'm wondering if it needs a little pop anywhere else. Like maybe there. Maybe on the side. So let me know in the comments down below. If, ooh, why is that wrapped around that sparkly one? Who one of your favourite bands is, or one of your favourite styles of music. I would love to hear down below if there's anyone that you are as obsessed with as I became. Do I want that on there? But now, right, I can't see it properly. I need my poker tool, but I can't find my poker tool. So let's just try it on here. I just need to see it. Like, do I want that there? Yep, let's put that there. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, just like that, and it goes over the feathers. And I've still got this feather. Do I feel like I want that feather? See, I take it away, and now I think, no, I don't want that. And now I look at it, and I think, I kind of like it. But then that would give us an even number of feathers, which is... I know what, I'm going to use some crackling on it, and maybe that'll help me make up my mind. So, Lauri and Erasmus. We need to get rid of this glue page. Oh, I like that. Let's see if that helps me make my mind up. So this is a really fun page. I am really enjoying this collage. Oh, yes, now I like that. Yeah, I do. I'm really enjoying this Margarete Miller's collage. It's especially these like themed ones, or ones that ask you to put something that's meaningful to you in them. It just makes the collages really interesting, and it becomes a way of memory keeping without the specifics of a whole spread of memory keeping. You know, you're adding your memories and things that are important to you. Like, I will know what this page is about. Anyone in my family will know what this page is about. They'll be like, oh, there's Erasmus, Mum's doing about them. I want to ink this a bit more. But anyone looking at this journal wouldn't necessarily know anything about all the different meanings and why I've put what I have on here. I'm wondering actually if I want some crackle in the background now. Have I got any left on here? I'm trying to randomly see if I've got any crackle left. No, let's put a little bit more on. So anyway, it will be done. I'm going to add this crackle. Yeah, I like that. That just adds a bit more texture and dimension, and I might add it in a few other places. Not too much, because then it will look messy. But I like that. So guys, oh my gosh, is that white? Is the white edging on there? No, can't have that for Erasmus page. So guys, this is it. I need a white piece of paper so you can really see the page. Oh, do you know what? I think this might be one of my favourite pages in this journal. I've actually loved how this one came about and everything about it. And I'm going to, I normally do this off camera, but I do write, where's my pen gone? I do well, I might have to still do it off camera. I do tend to write the date on in an area. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, back. I have no idea where my pen went to, but I'm just going to write it up here. So this is week 24. Some people add the prompts to their page. I'm keeping all my prompts in the front here, and then I'll just know what the prompts are by looking back at it. So there we go. I am so pleased with this page. I love it. I really do love it. Yeah. So if you like what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button. It really does help all of us creators here on YouTube. If you hit that like button. And as I said, you can have a look at previous weeks. I tend to do a lot of different styles because I like to play with styles and ideas. And anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will be back next week with week 25 of the Margarete Miller, when we will be working on this tiny page. And wherever you are in the world, guys, I hope that you are safe and having some crafty fun. Until next time, guys, bye for now.